How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about one of the 4-stars that are going to be dropping with Acheron, which is pretty exciting that they're putting the brand new 4-star with the brand new unit that everyone wants to summon on. So today we are going to be talking about Gallagher and what he does and all that type of stuff, and why I think he's going to be a pretty great sustain for free-to-plays. And also one thing, my bad on the lighting and all that type of stuff. It is not the way I wish it could be. That window right there really messes me up. But let's go ahead and start doing all this. But before we get into that, again, make sure to leave a like, sub, and all that type of stuff. And also make sure to come by on the Twitch side at twitch.tv/REHOO, because we are going to be playing more Star Wars. We're going to be possibly making our new account as well with free to play and all that type of stuff with Acheron coming so soon. So make sure to go over there and see what's happening. But let's go ahead and start talking about Gallagher, which again is going to be our sustain. That is a 4-star on Acheron's banner. And let's go ahead and start with the traces. For Gallagher, is going to have increased this unit's outgoing healing by equal amount to a certain percentage of their break effect up to a maximum amount. Now this already screams some really cool stuff. I really like that they're going a different way in regards to how we're building these characters out, with the sustain really liking the break effect stat on them. And now that I think, if I'm not wrong, have a light cone that also gives us break effect for Harmony, this is going to be a really cool light cone to run, and also something potentially cool with dot units, because as we may know, yes, fire has one of the weakest break effect burns or one of the break effect dots. But right now, looking at how this is, imagine adding this character, a fire character, on top of the dot team, having someone like Luca on the dot team, having someone like Black Swan and Kafka on the dot team. Now you can see where I'm going a little bit with this, which is really cool that they're doing this in this form, because now it adds up to more really cool teams, and specifically something I will be showcasing in the future. Now the next one is, after using the ultimate, immediately advances for this unit's action. Wow, that's actually pretty good. And I'm assuming this might be 100%. Otherwise it'd be 50, but then that'd be kind of lame. So I'm assuming this is going to be a full-on ultimate that's going to throw you up 100%, which this opens up a lot of avenues for a lot of different things. Whether you are low on a lot of your teammates, you can use the ultimate, hit them all with whatever you have to do, and then pop a heal on someone, or possibly use your ultimate and then grab a skill point, because that's possible as well. You notice that you're not gonna have a skill point for support, use this man's ultimate and then do a basic, boom, you're good. Now you have a skill point to spare, and now your other character has something that they can use when their turn comes out. So this can actually have some really cool implications and conditions that could actually be used in battle. So this is really cool to look at. And then the last one is going to be, when Gallagher uses Nectar Blitz to attack enemies that are in the besotted state, the HP restore effect of this talent for this attack will apply to other allies as well. This is really good. This allows for team-wide healing, which is a really big factor in regards to how a sustain should be healing in the first place. And to see that he has abilities to not only single out a character with this skill, which we're going to talk about later, but also that he can make sure that the whole team gets healed if he basic attacks after he uses his ultimate, if I'm not wrong. That's going to be super cool to see. So I really like Gallagher right now when it comes to his traces. This looks really, really good for a 4-star sustain, to have a lot of the added utility that he's going to be getting with the break effect being on multiple teams, with being able to advance yourself forward, which gives you a lot of different actions that you could possibly do in regards to healing more, or possibly just getting a skill point for the rest of your team. There's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with that. And then also being able to heal the full team, that is a really good thing as well. Going into his technique is going to be an attacking one, so you will be going in with it, but it will inflict the besotted state on all enemies lasting a certain number of turns and deals fire damage to most enemies. Now the really cool thing is that you're already inflicting the debuff already, and to see that Gallagher can inflict debuffs, there's a couple of teams that are really gonna like him, and one of those for sure is going to be someone like Dr. Ratio, who we know loves these debuffs on these enemies. That way he can get his follow-up counter higher, that way he can get his damage up faster. There's a lot of really cool things that come with having a sustainer that can add debuffs at the current moment. So yes, Dr. Ratio is again getting another buff coming out, and this is very exciting to see. Another character, which I'm not sure why I don't have it on here already, but Acheron will also love Gallagher, because inflicting a debuff as a sustain, that adds a stack onto your ultimate, and boom, non-stop ultimates back to back to back. And there's a lot of different situations where you could probably do this, but it's really cool seeing that they're venturing out and making a lot of these other paths able to do other things, and this is going to be really exciting for a lot of the people that are coming into the game. The next one are going to be the basic attack and the enhanced basic attack, with the basic attack just being a normal basic attack, and the enhanced one is going to do deals fire damage to a single target enemy and reduces the target's attack lasting for a certain number of turns. This allows you to sustain a little bit better because they won't be hitting as hard. But the number one thing is, after you use your ultimate, which I'm assuming gives you the Nectar Blitz, you are going to be able to afflict the debuff again making it easier for someone like Dr. Ratio or Acheron to be able to deal with this and have a good time with these debuffs. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with these characters, and I like to see that they're going this route and letting other paths and letting other roles in the game be able to help out the characters that you're going against, because having Dr. Ratio and Acheron have a sustainer, their fourth team member that usually is just supposed to keep the team alive, helping them out with their kit, that's absolutely amazing and frees up a slot for a couple of different teams and allowing for different characters to come into the team now that the sustainer is able to afflict some type of debuff and give you some type of benefit for those characters. Now for his talent, the Besotted State increases the break damage that targets receive. Every time a besotted target is attacked by an ally, the attacker's HP gets restored. Now this is where I find something very, very interesting in Gallagher. One main thing is that it increases break damage received. So I would love to see how a REHOO Mei with a 60k break or 70k break with a besotted enemy that has increased break damage, how much damage is that gonna hit? That is what interests me in the fastest portion of this kit. I mean, this is the coolest thing ever. But another thing to also note is that when you have the Besotted State, if you hit that target with the debuff on them, you get your HP back. And this is where I say that Gallagher is kind of like a 4-star Locha, because no matter what, whenever you hit the enemy, whether you are AoE or single target, as long as you hit that enemy once, you are going to get healed. And I would love to know if there's a way, if you hit multiple enemies, you get multiple healing instances. There's a lot of really cool stuff that could go around with Gallagher, and there's a lot of really cool stuff that can be done if that's the case, because then he will have some type of godly sustain while also being a break damage buffer, which is very interesting in the fact that this is going to help dot teams, this is going to help teams with REHOO Mei. There's a lot of really cool stuff with this, and for the fact that he also has that talent where he's able to give everyone healing if he hits someone with the Besotted State with Nectar Blitz. This character seems to be somebody very freaking strong and definitely a sustain worth building, in my opinion, if all of this is the way I see it. And then lastly, his skill is going to be him popping up his soda can and him being able to restore HP for one ally, which is really nice. His ultimate is going to be inflicts besotted on all enemies for a certain number of turns and deals fire damage to them all at the same time. I love that this is a full wave hit, so this is really great for Gallagher, and then enhances this unit's next turn or next basic attack to Nectar Blitz. And I was correct, you get Nectar Blitz after that. And remember, we do get, which is a really cool thing, after your ultimate, you are advanced forwarded all the way to the top, I'm assuming, and you do get your Nectar Blitz. That means that whenever you do your ultimate, everyone has besotted on them, and now what? Now you can basic attack, not only giving you a skill point, but also healing the full team. That is a very strong thing to have, 100%. Either you can go flat out and heal someone fully by themselves, or you can go ahead and give the team a full heal with being able to hit them with Nectar Blitz after this ultimate. And then this not only inflicts the debuff, this allows you to do way more than that. This allows you to have that break damage buff out. This allows other allies to be able to attack that enemy or multiple enemies to be able to get their HP back. I really, really love what's being shown right now, and I really, really love what's being done with Gallagher. He seems like a very, very strong sustainer for Starro right now, and a very unique one for a lot of different teams regarding Dr. Ratio dealing with Acheron and the debuff type of mechanic that we're dealing with right now for her stacks. Gallagher seems like a super, super strong character for sure. And then lastly, looking at all the harmonies that we have at the current moment, or sustainers I mean at the current moment, looking at Bailu and Locha and Natasha, these characters are, of course, as I always say, the brick walls. They keep you alive and nothing more. But now that we have these characters like HoHo, who's able to give you energy and attack, Lynx, who's giving you taunt aggro, and now Gallagher inflicting debuffs, which is the first of its kind now that we are here in the harmony, not harmony, I keep saying harmony. Now that we are here in the abundance path, they're making sure that every single slot is being filled when it comes to the team, and also the roles and what they can fill. And this is a really great thing. I'm thinking that Gallagher is going to be one of the better sustains when it comes to certain team comps that want debuffs, that want this break damage type of buff. I can see him being a very good pickup and a very, very good character to build out when you end up getting him on Acheron's banner, which I hope all of y'all get the best of luck on summons, because I am very excited for this character. I think he's one of the cooler and one of the better 4-stars we've gotten in a long time. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. Let me know if you're going to be pulling for Acheron. Let me know if you're going to be pulling for Aventurine, all that type of stuff. And let me know how many Eidolons you want of Gallagher. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See y'all the next one, and peace.